You are listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report, episode 185.2.2. Kevin Renbarger reacts to Oak Hill's sectional draw.
You're listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report with your host, Greg Mengels.
The IHSA sectional draw was Sunday night, and in Class 2A sectional 38 at Wabash, our only local team is the Oak Hill Golden Eagles, and coming up momentarily, Oak Hill head coach Kevin Renbarger will join Michelle Garman and myself to talk about Sunday night's draw. But let me take a look at it real fast. In the first game on Tuesday, March 4th, again, this is sectional 38 at Wabash. It'll be 15 and 4 Rochester against 10 and 11 Eastern, followed on Tuesday at about 7:30 with 4 and 16 Lewis Cass against 0 and 21 Wabash. The two best teams in the sectional drew first round byes. 18 and 2 and third ranked Manchester will play the winner between Rochester and Eastern, while Kevin Renbarger's 14 and 6 Oak Hill Golden Eagles will take on the winner of Lewis Cass and Wabash. So Oak Hill avoids playing Manchester until the championship game, assuming the Eagles can get there. Of course, Manchester beat Oak Hill 76-36 way back on November 30th. On Wednesday evening, Tipton Tribune and Elwood Call Leader sports editor Michelle Garman and I spoke with Coach Renbarger about his team's draw and the way his team has been playing.
You're listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report with your host, Greg Mengels.
Well, Coach, it's hard to believe, but here we are, sectional time.
It is hard to believe. The season is so long. The beginning of it seems so far away, but at the same token, it goes by very, very quickly. So it is kind of hard to believe that we're here on sectional draw Sunday.
Yeah, Coach, you had looking at the draw, I would surmise that you are pretty pleased with it.
Yeah, I kind of go back and forth. We've done this for 20 years, and we've had good experiences with the bye. We've had bad experiences where we thought, we took too much time off. But it gives us an opportunity after. We've been going Tuesday, Friday, Tuesday, Friday, Tuesday, Friday, now 3 weeks in a row. And we had a Saturday game in there too. So we've been playing a lot of games. It's going to give us an opportunity to play, one more Tuesday, Friday with Northwestern on Tuesday and Delta on Friday, and then give us a full week to not only prepare. We'll go over and watch Cass and Wabash play. It'll give us an opportunity, to have 3 days there, but fix anything that we need fixed. I think that's first and foremost. We just haven't had time to fix much of what ails us or what we have been needing that needs attention. So give us an opportunity to do that. So I from that standpoint, I think I am pretty pleased.
So obviously you're not going to look ahead. No good coach ever does. But Manchester is on the other side of the bracket, and of course, you had one of your worst losses of the season against them. Thoughts on them being the favorites over on the other side?
Well, I think anybody would be foolish not to think that Wabash isn't the runaway favorite. I think they may have. Rochester probably was in 25 points of them. They 35 pointed probably the rest of everybody else that they played in our sectional. So they're the clear-cut favorite, no doubt about it. The one thing that we can draw on, I guess, if we were lucky enough to get that far, is that McConaughey 35 pointed us last year at the beginning of the year. They had us down 40, and we're pushing towards 100 points, and all of those things. It's kind of an embarrassing game for us, and we turned around and were able to defeat them. So that's recent history. Most of our kids were involved with that. So like I said, if we were fortunate enough to get past this first game and Manchester's there, we do have something to kind of draw back on that could give us some confidence, I think. But we got to, first and foremost on our mind is Tuesday night to see who we're actually going to play, whether it be Cass or Wabash.
Have you played either? I'm sorry, I don't have your schedule in front of me. Well,
Yes, we do.
I guess I do now. I'm sorry. Um, so well, you played Wabash the opening game, so that's always a little bit different. And then you guys do not play Cass, am I correct?
That's correct. And the thing about Wabash is it's kind of a pet peeve of mine, I guess. We played Wabash the first game of the year. That game was at Wabash, and because we played on their home site, the IHSA does not allow us to go over there and have a sectional practice. So our kids have to draw upon memory of what it was like to shoot, the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. But that's just a personal little thing of mine. So yeah, but the answer to your question, yes, we've played Wabash. Wabash is obviously they haven't won a game, but watching their film, they're finding ways to lose at the very end. They're well coached, they play hard, they're putting themselves in position. We've had an opportunity to have some common opponents, so we've gotten some of their film. I'm preparing for Northwestern, and they just recently played Northwestern and took them to overtime and had a chance to win. So the same thing with Lewis Cass. You look at some of their scores, and they've been beaten by some teams that you kind of scratch your head. But then they also played some close games against some opponents that were very impressive.
Yeah,
And
beat
so,
Madison Grant. Yeah.
Well, what I was gonna say
right,
too is Cass and Tipton, or Tipton ends its season at Cass on Tuesday night. So
yes,
that by you having just played Tipton, I'm gonna guess that will you get that film. That will be kind of a good film for you to
yeah.
gauge with
Yep,
common
yep.
opponents.
That's definitely on the to-do list after Tuesday night is to get that film. So, we'll know obviously a lot more about those two. We know something about Wabash again. I've just because of the proximity of the TRC and some of the teams that they play and some of the teams that we play. We've seen them on film a little bit, but I don't know much about Cass at this point. But by the time next Tuesday rolls around, we'll know a lot about Cass.
Coach, what things do you on your team right now that you really want to see improve just a little bit or need tweaked for to give you a good chance to cut down the nets on that Saturday?
Yeah, the thing that when we haven't really talked about it because this is something that you don't want in the kid's head, but we just need consistent shooting. We've had some games where we've shot the ball extremely well. We shot the ball extremely well against Western and won that game going away. We shot the ball well against Logansport, and we're fortunate enough to have a victory there. But we were 12 of 58 against Blackford from the field, and 20% isn't going to win any game, let alone a team again like that. And then last Tuesday against Tipton, we were 3 of 18 from the 3-point line, and Tipton had 7 3-pointers. And so we thought we had a pretty good game plan going into that particular game, particularly on the defensive end. But when you're shooting 3 of 17 from the 3-point line, you're not going to win very many games. So we're very up and down right now. And so just getting consistency from both the 2-point and the 3-point range, I think is the biggest bugaboo right now.
Okay.
Coach, thank you so much for your time, and we look forward to talking to you as the sectional approaches. And good luck.
Yeah, hey, good luck
Thank you.
good luck as you close out the regular season this week, Kevin.
Thank you both.
And thanks once again to Coach Renbarger for joining the Central Indiana Sports Report. And thank you for listening. If you would, please go subscribe to our YouTube channel. Just search Central Indiana Sports Report, and it is very easy to find. We just went over 3,000 listeners for a month for the first time, and we did that by you spreading the word about the Central Indiana Sports Report. Please continue to do so. We think our podcast should be growing at an even faster rate, and you could really help us by telling your friends. Appreciate it. The Central Indiana Sports Report is a product of ITG Media. And I love Susie.